Back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Howell, first play, going to throw it. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Finding space at the 40. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give up the middle to Gibson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side with Gibson. A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing here, Howell. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Going for it on 4th. Here's Howell. And he finds McLaurin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Robinson is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll motion out one of the tight ends. Again, it'll be Robinson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This opening drive has taken him to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this will be play number 10 on this pretty long opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Dax Milne, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Joey Sly on for the extra point. And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless. And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So he jumped as a safety. You might know a thing or two about that from your playing days. Well, I remember creeping up near the line of scrimmage on certain blitzes or certain coverages. Never jumped off sides, though. Not once? Not once. I wish I had a few times. It would have stopped some of those plays I got toasted up on.
Now Jones. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. The Giants had 3 and 8 on the year. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true as well, because this is a club in desperate need of a spark out of somewhere. A big play on offense, turnover, takeaway on defense, something to get them pointed in the right direction. They need it quickly.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing, Jones. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Jones now. They're bringing a blitz. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at the 33. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got some space here. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll get it inside the 20, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Howell. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Howell down to throw it. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Commanders 14, Giants nothing.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 25-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Chase Young. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive. and it's been paying off for him so far this game.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And Howe will throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Touchdown! Jahan Dotson from 10 yards out. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-0.
Commanders 41, Giants nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. And he'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. Working with his second and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Hal to the air on 1st and 10. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
First down, Hal to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Taken from about the 12. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And defense, they're blitzing here. Jones. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Here's Gibson to start the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Gibson again. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. The throw on target there to Milne. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. He will push his way down to about the 14. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Sly able to put this one through. And the route is on. It's 24-0. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. Up the middle with Barkley. And some space here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Kendall Fuller, boy, no problems for him on that play defensively. Really nice tackle for loss.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. That's caught by Waller out left side. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Looking to throw. Jones. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack. Going to stop him short of the first.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
A give to Barkley out of the gun, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Jones. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York.
It's taken to the 26. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
2nd and 9 from the 44. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a 3rd down now as they look for 1 more first down to help salt this one away.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Tressway now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones.
Quick slant into the hands of Darren Waller.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Jones throwing on 1st down. And that's complete to Shepard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A gain of 27 more yards. That's another.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for 2nd down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Barkley, inside handoff.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Commanders,
it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.